Good day and welcome back to another DBZ Dokkan Battle video. In this video we're going to be taking a look at Destroyers, Born of Dragon Balls, Legion of the Shadow Dragons, GT Bosses category Key plus 4 lead, HP attack and defense of 150%. They greatly raise attack for 1 turn on their 12 key whilst lowering attack and defense. And on their 18 key they greatly raise attack for 1 turn, causing mega colossal damage and greatly lowering attack and defense of the enemy with a high chance of stunning, which is 50%. Key plus 4, attack and defense of 177%. GT Bosses category Allies Key plus 3, attack and defense of 40%. Per GT Bosses category Ally or Extreme Class Ally on the team, attack and defense of 30% and damage reduction of 7%. So what's great there is that obviously that means they can get up to like 49% damage reduction, because that will include allies as well. When all allies are extreme class category characters or GT Bosses category characters in the turn, they'll have attacks are effective against all types, and all allies further attack and defense is 17%, which makes them a 57% support for GT Bosses. When attacking with 12 or more key, attack and defense is 77% up. Attacking with 18 or more key, attack and defense 77% up. When attacking with 24 key, crit chance is 77%. And when the target enemy is in the following status, key plus 7 and attack of 77%. Their active skill, Shadow Dragon's Awakening, key plus 7 and all enemies attack and defense minus 30%, can be activated from the 7th turn from the start of battle. Brittle Beatdown, Nightmare, Fear and Faith, GT, Shadow Dragon Saga, Big Bad Bosses, Legendary Power, and they're on GT Bosses, Join Forces, and Shadow Dragon Saga. All in all, a great free-to-play unit. Really, honestly, a great free-to-play unit. Absolutely necessary to help out the Omega Shenron team. Any kind of GT Bosses team, really, they're there. Good key, good debuffing, they're solid defensively post-super. They bring a lot of utility to the table that the team requires, as well as being able to do situational damage, but still pretty solid damage nonetheless. The only real issues I have is their active skill. I think they should have changed the condition requirements. I know it's something they don't like doing much, but just making it the 5th turn from the 7th turn, or even the 4th turn, would have made it a lot more useful. Because even though debuffing is way more common now than it used to be, like a lot of bosses allow you to debuff them, it is still notably so that the situation is that the 7th turn is still pretty far away from when most people would be wanting to use that active skill. Now, all in all, they're great. You'll see my build on them is high crit. This is not the right build to go. I did this way back when, long before their Extreme Z Awakening. So, this was back in the day when they didn't have any crit in their passive. So, giving them a ton of crit. Don't do this now. I'm going to be changing it when I get some spare battlefield memories. What you want to do is basically you want to give them high evasion, or alternatively you want to give them some additionals. Preferably a bit of both, but mainly high evasion. The higher the evasion, the better, because it will add another defense mechanic to them. If you can get to like 25 evasion, if you think about that, that means that they are good support. They can fire off debuffing attacks. They've got built-in damage reduction. They've got attacks effective against all types, critting, and it's just additionals. And additionals help, but it's not like it's huge, because it's not like it's raising their defense. It is allowing them to do a bit more damage and allowing them to debuff the opponent, but it's not like they are going to be doing huge defensive work for themselves. So really, from that point of view, my suggestion is obviously to consider slowing it down, and going more of an evasion style build. Definitely not a crit build, like 100% definitely not a crit build. Not something I personally would suggest in any capacity. That's at least my point of reference. So for me, obviously that's only the main thing I would change from my side. Other than that, I think they're great. So I don't have like any significant issues with them. I think they are really good for free to play. I think they achieve pretty much everything that people want them to achieve. So for me, that's obviously always super important. And ultimately at the end of the day, I do think that they are incredibly good. So from my side, yeah, I'd have to say that they are really solid. Really solid. So for me, I don't really see too many more changes. Honestly, I think that's very much a thing for me. So other than that, I think, let me know what you guys think about the characters. Let me know what you guys, feel about them, how you feel about them, etc., etc. I'd love to know. I think it'll be really cool. And yeah, at the end of the day, that's pretty much it from me. Obviously, if you have any thoughts or opinions regarding the characters, please let me know. If you've used them, let me know. They work great on a Mega Shenron's team, because remember, Mega Shenron, if you're running a Mega Shenron gives 10% damage reduction to GT bosses units. And if you run 2 Omega Shenrons, he gives that's a 20% roaming damage reduction buff. So whatever turn these guys are on, it's not even like they have 49% damage reduction. It's like they have 69% damage reduction. It is really redonkulous what Omega Shenron does to some of these units. And obviously he does a lot for these guys. From support, functionality, all that sort of stuff. He makes them so strong. And as a free-to-play, to be in that realm is really impressive.